And the first person I'd like to introduce for a 3-minute statement is the author, the primary sponsor of the Senate version of the Equality Act, Senator Jeff Merkley of Oregon.
Thank you very much, Chairman Durbin. I am very honored to be with you today, and thank you for convening this historic hearing on the Equality Act. I'm proud to sponsor this historic piece of legislation and to have worked in partnership with colleagues on the House side and so many leaders in the civil rights community to draft this legislation back in 2015. Now, here we are 6 years later, having this moment to finally start the important discussion in the committee to determine the path forward to end this historic discrimination against the LGBTQ members of the United States of America. I'm determined that we go forward to outlaw discrimination against LGBTQ Americans as we have outlawed discrimination on the basis of race, ethnicity, and religion. When our founders met in Philadelphia to break away from Great Britain, to create a new nation, they had some powerful, some revolutionary ideals. And perhaps the most revolutionary ideal of all, as Thomas Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence, was that all of us are created equal and deserving of the same rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. America, from an imperfect beginning, has strived towards that vision generation after generation, to reach towards those goals of freedom, of equality, of opportunity for all. And when you look at where we started from and where we are now, it's clear we've made significant progress towards achieving that vision. But we are not there yet. President Lyndon Johnson once said that freedom is the right to share fully and equally in American society, that it is the right to be treated in every part of our national life as a person equal in dignity and promise to all others. But too many of our fellow Americans are not treated as people equal in dignity and promise. Too many cannot share fully and equally in society because each and every day they are submitted to discrimination, doors slammed in their face in aspect after aspect of our national life, all because of who they are or whom they love. In 29 states today, LGBTQ Americans can be married in the morning, ejected from a restaurant at lunch, denied a mortgage, dismissed from jury duty in the afternoon, and evicted from their home that same night. How can we say that any of these Americans are treated equal in dignity and promise to all others? How can we say that LGBTQ Americans are truly free when 1 in 3 report having faced some form of discrimination in just the last year? How can we say, as Jefferson wrote, that all of us are created equal and deserving of the same rights when the law does not give the same rights and opportunities to LGBTQ Americans? No one should have to live like that. No one should have to live their life with the ugly curse of discrimination, slamming shut the doors of opportunity, preventing one's participation in so many aspects of our national life. That discrimination is the very opposite of freedom. It is the very opposite of dignity. It is the very opposite of equality. It is way past time for members of this body to step up and fulfill the vision of our Declaration of Independence, the vision in our Constitution, the vision of equal justice under law, carved into the stone above the doors of the Supreme Court, and end the dark history of discrimination and prejudice against our fellow LGBTQ Americans. So thank you again to the chairman and ranking member for holding this long overdue hearing.
Thank you very much.
Let the bells of freedom ring across America.
Senator Tammy Baldwin of Wisconsin is the co-lead of the Equality Act and the first openly LGBTQ senator. Senator Baldwin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ranking Member Grassley and members of the committee. Thank you for holding this historic hearing on the Equality Act and for inviting me to be a part of it. Since the people of Wisconsin first sent me to the House of Representatives in 1999, we have seen enormous advances for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community. On a bipartisan basis, we have expanded our nation's hate crimes laws to fight bias-motivated violence against this community and repealed the Don't Ask, Don't Tell law that barred open service by brave lesbian, gay, and bisexual service members. Through the actions of state legislatures and state and federal courts, marriage equality has become a reality in every corner of this country. But our work is not yet done. And because of that, the House has twice passed, on a bipartisan basis, the Equality Act. Discrimination remains a daily reality for members of the LGBTQ community. Discrimination is a painful reality. A majority of states still lack comprehensive non-discrimination protections in employment, housing, and public accommodations, education, and elsewhere. When our community fought for hate crimes and open service and marriage, we sought simply to be included, to be afforded the same opportunities as every other American. These efforts were not about taking something away from others, but rather ensuring LGBTQ people could fully participate in the life of our nation. That too is what the Equality Act is about, making our nation's decades-old federal civil rights framework inclusive of LGBTQ people and expanding the opportunities they afford to more people, not diminishing them for others. Just as enacting these historic laws made us a better nation, closer to the promise of equality for which so many have struggled, so too will extending them. Doing so will allow LGBTQ people who are your family members, friends, neighbors, staff, and colleagues the chance to contribute to their workplaces, schools, communities as their full selves without fear of discrimination. Our nation is at its best when it seeks to expand opportunity and embrace the beautiful diversity of the American people. Each time we have done so, there have been those who insist that it will result in calamity, but that has never come to pass. We are a better, stronger nation for having advanced the cause of equality. Let us work together to continue moving our country forward in that noble pursuit. Thank you.